Welcome back to BCHS.TV. This is your host, Gary Ownbey, here today with talking a little bit of wrestling with Bradley Central head wrestling coach Ben Smith. Ben, welcome to our program once again. We'd like to talk about some things that happened. It's been a while since we had a chance with the school break and over the holidays, since we had a chance to talk about wrestling. But let's talk about what has happened since the last go-round. I think you've been in several tournaments, and you hosted one actually as well.
Yeah, we've been busy. It's been a break, but it's not felt like much of a break for us just because it's a great opportunity to travel and get caught up on challenge matches and much needed practice time. But we hosted the Bradley Invitational, which is in its 27th or 28th year or so. 5 teams, 5 different states. I think we talked about it a little bit last time we were here. We had a really good showing. Felt like we were a little flat in a couple spots, but we ended up finishing, we were the highest Tennessee team right behind Woodland, Cartersville, which we've talked about before, very tough team. You know, I felt like we left a lot of points out there, but you know, we're an older team that's turned into a younger team, so we're still learning to compete on that level. And then right after we came, I give my guys 5 or 6 days off. I think family's important, and we took some time off and came back and got right back into challenge matches. And then we went to wrestle Tullahoma at Tullahoma, beat them, and then we stopped at Father Ryan, which was some of our closest friends across the state.
And a good program.
It was a great program.
Program.
First time that we've got to see Cleveland in the same gym. So they were at the tournament, we were at the tournament. We finished right there neck and neck with each other, right behind Union County, Kentucky. Kind of a Bradley type program of Kentucky. Saw a lot of growth there. Hopped right back on the saddle and we wrestled Cleveland last Thursday, as I think most people know. You know, a little bit of a disappointing match, 42-27. Kind of like I said before, I felt like we left some points out there. Cleveland wrestled a great match. Can't take anything away from them at all, and no excuses on our part. But they were just better than us that night, and they might be better than us, period. But then we got back on the saddle and left the next morning.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, we left the next morning and we wrestled the number 2 ranked team in the state right ahead of us, Science Hill, last Friday night at Science Hill, and we beat them. So the guys rebounded well. I was really proud of that. And then we wrestled in an individual tournament the next day at Science Hill. And first time I really kind of saw our team kind of come together. So Thursday night was disappointing. Friday was a nice rebound, and Saturday was a good day. So hopefully we'll be ready to go this week and next.
So what do we got look forward to this week?
So we have East Hamilton and Ray at East Hamilton. That's 2 region matches.
That'll be tonight. We're recording this on Tuesday.
That'll be tonight, yeah. East Hamilton has 3 state medalists in their lineup. We have 1. They've got some good kids. So that'll be interesting. I think we should handle the team side of things well, but there are definitely some individual region seeds on the line. So big matches nonetheless. And then Thursday, our good friends from Father Ryan come down and they want to travel down and wrestle us in a dual meet. So they're coming down to wrestle underneath the lights on Thursday.
That'll be a challenge. Have they been here before, I guess, in the past?
They have. A couple years ago, they wrestled us right before the Cleveland Duels. We returned the favor and wrestled them a few years ago before their tournament that we traveled to. And then we just like each other, you know.
Well, good.
So he's coming to us, and so that means next year we'll go to him, and we'll just kind of keep the friendly rivalry going.
Well, it's a good program to tangle with there, too. Let's talk about the challenge match you mentioned. Did anything change on the team? Now, challenge matches, explain to folks what those are. Those are where if I'm a second-ranked wrestler in that weight program, I guess I can challenge the guy ahead of me and try to bump him. Is that how that works?
So some programs challenge every week or before every match. We challenge twice a year. Beginning of the first semester and then the beginning of the second semester. And all challenge matches are 2 out of 3. So that kind of eliminates, and unlike basketball and football, I don't pick the starting lineup.
Right.
Like these guys, like
they pick it themselves.
You want to be a starter, so you know, here you go. So there's one advantage of coaching an individual sport. You want to be the man, be the man. So we did have a couple changes. Our 160 slid down to 145. Our 138, we had a really heavy challenge match at 138. So we had a change there. But that was the biggest change. We thought that our 138 and 45 would be a little bit of a triangle there, but we've got one shift down, and that opened up a spot at 160 for freshman Knox Watson. You know, Buck and Holly's boys. So he's one of the rare freshmen in our lineup now at 160. So the biggest change was Chase Stansberry went down to 160, and went down to 145, and Knox went in at 160. So
Does this time of year, through the holiday season, Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that, when we all want to just eat till we can't hardly walk, does that offer you a challenge as a coach? I mean, the kids, they're going to put on, maybe you're going to put on some pounds. It's hard to shy away from that great food when your mom and grandma or whoever's putting it out there in front of you, and you're with family and everybody's wanting to eat. And
well, the motion that you just did, sometimes the hardest thing I can get them to do is to learn how to push away from the dinner table. So the NFHS, the day after Christmas, institutes a 2-pound growth allowance.
Oh, okay.
So, 106 now is 108, 113 is 115. That helps, but most of these guys, and again, I give our guys 4, 5, 6 days off.
Yeah.
A lot of teams compete throughout the break, but that's something that Coach Jackson and Coach Logston did that I'm not going to change. I think it's important to reset and spend time with family and let them travel and be kids. But sometimes it does present issues, but your disciplined kids are going to keep it down. And just because we're off doesn't mean the road is closed. It doesn't mean that the Y is closed. It doesn't mean – it's more of just stay away from the room for a minute, stay away from the be a kid for a couple of days and relax. And me, man, I get to go Christmas shopping. I get to spend some time with family. I get to travel, So it's not a bad thing. But, yes, there are some weight issues. But that's why we compete a lot before we start back to school. That way, when we get into the region and the state and the district time, we've already got that under control.
When will your postseason start?
Our postseason will officially start next Thursday, the 23rd, which is our district duel with Saudi. If we win that, then we're district champions. We'll wrestle the runner-up of Cleveland and Walker Valley in the region duels. The winner of that, the 2 region finalists get to go to the state tournament. So technically next Thursday, the 23rd, which is my daughter's due date.
I was going to ask you about that.
Is our postseason, so to speak. So we'll finish up this week, and then we'll slide into district postseason competition next week.
Which leads me to my next question. How are you going to handle that being a new dad here? I mean, do you have you've got a lot of assistant coaches and great assistant coaches I know can stand in. So you're going to take some time off or to be away out of the classroom at least?
Well, my plan is this. First of all, like you said, I've got great assistants. I mean, I believe good leaders surround themselves.
They can be head coach at a lot of places.
100%. Good leaders surround themselves with people that are better than them and that accentuate their weaknesses. And Coach Blackman, Coach Anglin, and my numerous alumni staff that I have are wonderful. They're great. I don't have anything to worry about. Like you said, they'd be head coaches and have been head coaches at other programs. But, it's going to be hard for me to be away. This will be about the only thing. Yeah. Look, if you think I'm the only coach that's ever had a baby in wrestling season, you're out of your mind. So I know it's been done. I'm just praying for the wisdom and the knowledge and the intelligence to know how to juggle it appropriately.
It'll come.
Because, I want to be a state champ dad as much as I want to be a state champ coach. So I'll figure it out. And my program and our administration here, they're wonderful. They're wonderful. We'll figure it out. But I am going to take I'm going to take a couple weeks off from school. And then
we'll
figure it out.
Being that all-state dad is much more important than being an all-state coach. And,
you got that right.
And you'll know what I'm talking about there. Let me ask you something I've not asked you before. What is your class breakdown as far as grades? I mean, seniors, juniors. Do you have that off the top of your head?
I do. We are the vast majority of our team are sophomores and freshmen.
That's good news. That's bad news.
It's good news. So I've started the season with 9 seniors, and I'm now at 5.
Okay.
I started the season with 11 juniors. I'm down to 7. We've been in a bit of a culture shift here lately, and which is not a bad thing. I've got 17 freshmen, and I have about 11 sophomores.
Okay.
And we're still climbing the ladder and ranked second in the state with that kind of demographic, so to speak. This is the lowest number I've had in a while. That doesn't mean anything other than we're just trying to clean some things up. I think that who we are off the mat and who we are in the classroom is as important, if not more important, than who we are on the mat.
I agree.
And we've got a great freshman group and a really scrappy sophomore group. The 8th grade and 7th grade group that we have is very active and tons of potential. So I want to make sure that what we've got, what they're coming into, is right. So sometimes I don't dismiss a lot of kids, but we're down a little bit, and that's not a bad thing, so to speak. Well, now those kids get chances again. I mean, hey, you start again in the off season, but right now you just don't fit the mold for what we're trying to do. our culture, even though maybe the public didn't know it, and I'm talking about work ethic, I'm talking about classroom, I'm talking about social decisions, we got to clean some things up. And so this was a good year to do that.
Well, I know you're the man that can lead through that, and
Maybe.
we wish you the best. Now, I hope to see you next week, unless that little one comes along. It's going to be a girl.
It'll be a girl.
So if she comes along, then we'll understand that you're not here. We'll have maybe
Coach Blackman.
Coach Blackman.
He'll stutter his way through the interview.
Jangling, Angling, whoever.
Oh, God, Angling will talk. You'll be here till third period.
We'll run out of daylight, He's here. So. But anyway, Coach, thank you for being with us. We appreciate Coach Ben Smith, the head coach at Bradley Central, here being with us as always as we talk wrestling. For BCHS TV, I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. We say so long for now. God bless and go Bears.